Galactic Meetup. The big space station hung in the dark sky, like a shiny Christmas tree. It was called the Galactic Council Hub, and it was where all the important aliens met to talk about space stuff. Inside, the main meeting room was huge. Aliens of all shapes and sizes sat around a big round table. Some had tentacles, others had fur, and a few even glowed in the dark. They came from all over the galaxy to discuss big problems and make important choices. At the head of the table sat Zork, the council leader. He looked like a blue octopus wearing a fancy robe. Zork banged his gavel, which was really just one of his tentacles, on the table. "Order, order," he gurgled. "We're here to talk about the humans again." A lot of aliens groaned. They were tired of talking about humans. Humans were the new kids on the block, and most aliens thought they were boring. Blorp, a green blob with eyes on stalks, spoke up. "Why are we wasting time on those Earth monkeys? They don't even have faster-than-light travel." Many aliens nodded in agreement. They thought humans were way behind everyone else. But Xena, a tall alien that looked like a silver tree, raised a branch. "We shouldn't ignore them. Humans are odd. They do strange things sometimes." Zork waved a tentacle. "That's why we're here. Our spies on Earth have some new info. Gleep, tell us what you found." Gleep was a small purple alien who could change shape. He often snuck onto Earth to watch humans. He turned into a screen to show pictures as he talked. "Humans are building lots of big factories," Gleep said, "but we don't know what they're making. It's all very secret." The aliens started chattering. Secret factories, that was new. "Maybe they're just making more of their silly cars," said Blorp. "Or those noisy music players," added another alien. But Xena wasn't so sure. What if it's something big, something that could change things? Zork shook his head. "Impossible. Humans are too far behind. They can barely reach their own moon." Just then, a young alien burst into the room. He looked scared. "Sorry to interrupt," he panted, "but we've got a problem." A big human fleet just appeared at the edge of our space. The room went quiet. Then everyone started yelling at once. "Human fleet," shouted Blorp. "They don't have a space fleet." "How did they get here so fast?" asked another alien. Zork banged his tentacle gavel again. "Calm down. This must be a mistake. Gleep, show us what's happening." Gleep turned into a big screen again. On it, they could see hundreds of shiny ships. They were shaped like arrows and had Earth written on the side in big letters. The aliens couldn't believe their eyes, or eye stalks, or whatever they used to see. "Those ships," Xena said quietly, "they're more advanced than ours." Blorp's eyes wobbled in shock. But that's impossible. Humans are primitives." Zork stared at the screen, his tentacles twitching nervously. "It seems," he said slowly, "that we've made a big mistake about humans." Just then, a message came through. A human face appeared on the screen. It was an older man with gray hair and a friendly smile. "Greetings, Galactic Council," the man said. "I'm Admiral Chen of the Earth Space Fleet. We come in peace and would like to join your meeting. I think we have a lot to talk about." The aliens looked at each other in shock. Humans had tricked them all. "Well," said Zork, trying to sound calm, "I guess we should invite them in." This meeting just got a lot more interesting. As the human ships got closer, the aliens realized that everything was about to change. The primitive humans weren't primitive at all. They had jumped from barely reaching their moon to having the best ships in the galaxy. How did humans do it? What other secrets did they have? And what would happen now that they were joining the galactic community? One thing was sure. The galaxy would never be the same again. The age of humans had begun, and no one knew what would happen next. Surprise! The Galactic Council room was in chaos. Aliens of all shapes and sizes were talking at once. Some were scared, others were angry, and a few were just confused. Admiral Chen's face was still on the big screen. He waited patiently while the aliens freaked out. Zork, the octopus-like leader, finally got everyone to quiet down. He turned to the human on the screen. "Admiral Chen," Zork said, trying to sound brave, "your arrival is unexpected. We thought humans couldn't travel faster than light." Chen smiled. "We couldn't, until recently." Surprise. Blorp, the green blob alien, bounced up and down angrily. "This is a trick. Humans are lying." "It's not a trick," Chen said calmly. "We've made some big jumps in science lately. We're here to help." Xena, the tree-like alien, raised a branch. "Help? With what?" Just then, alarms started blaring. Red lights flashed all over the space station. A robot voice spoke. "Warning! Warning! Giant space monsters approaching." Everyone looked at the main screen. It showed a group of huge, scary creatures floating through space. They looked like a mix between whales and squids, but bigger than planets. "Oh no," groaned Zork. "The cosmic krakens are back." The aliens started to panic again. Blorp hid under the table. Xena's leaves turned yellow with fear. "What are cosmic krakens?" asked Admiral Chen, looking interested. Zork explained. "They're ancient space beasts. They eat whole planets. We've been trying to stop them for years, but nothing works." Chen nodded. "I see. Well, that's why we're here. Earth has a plan to deal with these krakens." The aliens all stopped and stared at the screen. You do?" asked Zork, his tentacles twitching in surprise. "Yep," said Chen. "We've been watching the galaxy for a while now. We saw these krakens coming and figured out how to stop them. That's why we built our fleet." Blorp peeked out from under the table. "But how? Our best weapons don't even scratch them." Chen grinned. "We have some new tech we'd like to show you. Mind if we dock our ships and come aboard?" Zork looked around at the other aliens. They all nodded nervously. "Very well," said Zork. "You may dock, but no tricks." A few minutes later, Admiral Chen walked into the council room with a team of humans. The aliens were amazed. Humans looked so simple, but they had outsmarted everyone. Chen walked up to the big table and put down a small box. "This," he said, "is our secret weapon against the cosmic krakens." The aliens leaned in to look. The box was plain and gray. It didn't look special at all. "That little thing will stop the krakens?" asked Xena doubtfully. Chen nodded. "It's called a quantum resonance disruptor. It messes up the krakens' insides and makes them go away." Blorp's eyes wobbled with confusion. But how?" "It's complicated," Chen said. "But the simple version is, it makes the krakens really, really itchy. So itchy that they leave to find somewhere else to scratch." The aliens looked at each other. Could it really be that easy? Just then, the alarms went off again. The robot voice came back. "Warning! Cosmic krakens entering weapon range." Everyone rushed to the windows. Outside, they could see the huge space monsters getting closer. They were even bigger and scarier up close. Chen turned to his team. "Okay, folks, time to show them what we can do." The humans worked quickly, setting up their strange boxes all around the space station. The aliens watched nervously as the krakens got closer and closer. Finally, Chen pushed a big red button. "Here goes nothing," he said. For a moment, nothing happened. Then suddenly, the cosmic krakens started to wiggle. They twisted and turned in space, like they were trying to scratch an itch they couldn't reach. The aliens watched in amazement as the huge beasts started to move away. Soon, they were gone, leaving nothing but empty space behind. The room was quiet for a long moment. Then Zork spoke. I can't believe it. You did it. You saved us all." The other aliens started to cheer. They surrounded the humans, patting them on the back and shaking their hands, or tentacles, or branches. Admiral Chen smiled. "Happy to help. Now, about that Galactic Council membership." Zork nodded quickly. Yes, yes. Of course, Earth will have a seat on the council immediately. As the aliens celebrated, Chen winked at his team. Their plan had worked perfectly. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage in style, saving the day and earning respect in one big surprise. The galaxy would never be the same again. And this was just the beginning of humanity's adventures among the stars. Aliens freak out. The party didn't last long. Once the excitement of beating the cosmic krakens wore off, the aliens started to think, and thinking made them worried. Zork called for order. The octopus-like leader's tentacles were twitching nervously. We need to talk about what just happened, he said. Admiral Chen and his human team stood calmly at one end of the big room. The aliens all turned to look at them. Blorp, the green blob alien, bounced forward. You tricked us, he shouted. You said you were primitive. Chen shook his head. We never said that. You assumed it. Xena, the tree-like alien, rustled her leaves. But you let us think it. Why? We wanted to be sure we could trust you, Chen explained. The galaxy can be a dangerous place. This made the aliens talk all at once. Some were angry, others were scared. A few were even impressed. Zork banged his gavel tentacle. Quiet. Let's discuss this calmly. But calm was not on the menu. Blorp inflated himself, turning red with anger. They broke the rules. All species are supposed to tell the council when they discover faster-than-light travel. Other aliens nodded in agreement. There was a lot of angry muttering. Chen held up his hands. We understand your concern. But think about it. If we had told you right away, would you have believed us? This made the aliens pause. They looked at each other, unsure. Xena spoke up. He has a point. We've been looking down on humans for years. We might not have taken them seriously. Exactly, said Chen. We needed to prove ourselves. And now we have. But not everyone was convinced. A small furry alien named Floof stood up. What else are you hiding? He asked. Do you have other secret weapons? The room got very quiet. All eyes and eye stalks and other seeing organs turned to the humans. Chen smiled. We have some other technologies we're working on, but we're not here to threaten anyone. We want to be friends. Zork leaned forward. Friends? After you lie to us? We didn't lie, Chen said firmly. We just didn't tell you everything. And let's be honest, you didn't ask. This made some of the aliens shuffle uncomfortably. It was true. They had never really asked humans about their technology. They had just assumed. Blorp wasn't ready to give up. But what if they're planning to take over? They could be dangerous. Chen laughed. If we wanted to take over, we could have let the cosmic krakens eat you all. Instead, we saved you. This was a good point. The aliens looked at each other, confused and a little embarrassed. Xena raised a branch. I think we should give the humans a chance. They did save us after all. Slowly, other aliens started to nod. Maybe the humans weren't so bad after all. But Zork wasn't finished. We need guarantees, he said. We need to know more about your technology. And we need to be sure you won't use it against us. Chen nodded. That's fair. We're happy to share our knowledge. In fact, that's why we're here. He pulled out a small device and pressed a button. A hologram appeared, showing amazing human inventions. There were ships that could fold space, machines that could talk to plants, and robots that could build entire cities in days. The aliens watched in awe. Their fear turned to wonder, and then to excitement. Imagine what we could do together, Chen said. Humans and aliens working side by side. We could explore the whole universe. The mood in the room started to change. Anger turned to curiosity. Fear turned to hope. Zork looked around at the other aliens. He could see the change in their faces, or whatever they had instead of faces. Perhaps, Zork said slowly, we judged the humans too quickly. Maybe this is a chance for a new beginning. Chen smiled and held out his hand. That's all we want. A chance to be part of something bigger. Zork reached out a tentacle and shook Chen's hand. The other aliens cheered. It wasn't perfect. There were still worried whispers and suspicious looks, but it was a start. As the meeting broke up, aliens crowded around the humans, asking questions and wanting to see more. The freakout was turning into a fan club. Chen looked at his team and winked. Phase 1 of their plan was complete. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and things would never be the same. The adventure was just beginning, and who knew what amazing things would happen next? Earth's cool trick. The next day, the Galactic Council was buzzing with excitement. Aliens from all over had come to see Earth's cool new trick, their amazing faster-than-light FTL ships. Admiral Chen stood in front of a huge window. Outside, one of Earth's ships floated in space. It looked like a shiny arrow, sleek and pointy. "Ladies, gentlemen, and other beings," Chen said with a smile, "let me introduce you to the Storero 9000, Earth's pride and joy." The aliens oohed and awed. Even Blorp, who was still a bit grumpy, couldn't help but be impressed. Xena raised a branch. "But how does it work? Our ships take weeks to travel between stars." Chen nodded. "Well, it's all thanks to what we call the cosmic shortcut drive. Instead of going through space, we go around it." The aliens looked confused. Zork's tentacles twisted in a knot. "Around space? What does that mean?" Chen thought for a moment. "Okay, imagine space is like a big piece of paper. To get from one point to another, you usually have to go across the paper, right?" The aliens nodded. This made sense so far. "Well," Chen continued, "our ships can fold the paper. We bring the 2 points together and just step across. No need to travel the long way." There was a gasp from the crowd. This was amazing. Floof, the furry alien, raised a paw. "But isn't that dangerous? Folding space sounds scary." Chen laughed. "It's perfectly safe. We've tested it thousands of times. Want to see?" The aliens nodded eagerly. Chen spoke into his communicator. "Captain, show them what the Storero can do." Outside, the ship's engines started to glow. Suddenly, there was a flash of rainbow light. The ship vanished. The aliens gasped. Where did it go? Chen pointed to a screen on the wall. It showed a star system far, far away. "Watch that," he said. A few seconds later, there was another flash. The Storero appeared in the distant star system. The room erupted in cheers and excited chatter. The aliens couldn't believe their eyes, or eye stalks, or whatever they used to see. "That's impossible," shouted Blorp. "It takes our fastest ships 3 weeks to reach that system." Chen grinned. "For the Storero, it's a 10-second trip." Zork's tentacles were waving with excitement. "This changes everything. Think of the possibilities." "Exactly," said Chen. "We can explore further, trade faster, and help each other in emergencies. The galaxy just got a whole lot smaller." Xena looked thoughtful. "But surely this uses a lot of energy." "Good question," Chen replied. "That's the really cool part. Our drive actually uses less energy than your conventional engines." Now the alien scientists in the crowd were really interested. They crowded around Chen, asking complicated questions. Chen held up his hands. "Whoa, slow down. I'm not a scientist, but I brought someone who is." He waved, and a young human woman stepped forward. She had curly hair and bright eyes. "This is Dr. Amelia Zhang," Chen said. "She's one of the inventors of the cosmic shortcut drive." Dr. Zhang smiled at the aliens. "Hi everyone. Who wants to learn some cool science?" For the next hour, Dr. Zhang explained how the drive worked. She used simple words and funny examples. She compared space to a pizza, stars to pepperoni, and the ship to a hungry astronaut trying to eat as much as possible. By the end, even Blorp was laughing and asking questions. The aliens were amazed at how simple yet clever the human invention was. "But why didn't we think of this?" asked one alien scientist, scratching his antenna. Dr. Zhang shrugged. "Sometimes you need fresh eyes to see new solutions. We humans are good at thinking outside the box, or outside the space-time continuum," joked Chen. Everyone laughed. As the presentation ended, the aliens were buzzing with ideas. They talked about joint research projects, trade deals, and exploration missions. Zork floated over to Chen. "I must admit, Admiral, I'm impressed. Your cool trick is going to change the galaxy." Chen nodded. "That's the idea. But remember, we're not here to show off. We want to work together to make the galaxy a better place for everyone." Zork held out a tentacle, and Chen shook it. It was the beginning of a beautiful friendship. As the aliens left, chattering excitedly about what they'd learned, Chen and Dr. Zhang shared a high five. "Phase 2 complete," Chen said quietly. "Now let's see what humanity and our new alien friends can accomplish together." The future was looking bright. With Earth's cool trick and the combined knowledge of the galaxy, who knew what amazing adventures were waiting out there in the stars. Everything changes. In the weeks that followed, the galaxy was turned upside down. Earth's cool trick had changed everything, and everyone was scrambling to keep up. The Galactic Council chamber was busier than ever. Aliens from all corners of space came to talk to the humans. Everyone wanted a piece of Earth's new technology. Zork, the octopus-like leader, was trying to keep order. His tentacles were a blur as he pointed to different aliens. "One at a time, please," he gurgled. Admiral Chen stood calmly in the middle of the chaos. He was getting used to the attention. "We're happy to work with everyone," he said, "but we need to do it fairly." Blorp, the green blob alien, bounced up and down. "But we need the tech now. Our trade routes are too slow." Xena, the tree-like alien, rustled her leaves. "And our colonies need help. Some are running out of food." Chen nodded. "I understand. That's why we're setting up a new organization, the Galactic Cooperation Initiative." The room went quiet. Everyone leaned in to listen. "The GCI will help spread Earth's technology throughout the galaxy," Chen explained. "We'll train aliens to use and build our ships. We'll set up new trade routes. And we'll help colonies in need." The aliens started to cheer. This was even better than they'd hoped. But not everyone was happy. In a dark corner of the room, a group of shady-looking aliens huddled together. They were the Smugglers Guild, and Earth's new tech was bad for business. "This could ruin us," whispered the guild leader, a slimy creature named Grok. "We need to do something." Meanwhile, Earth was changing too. The secret was out, and humans were excited about their new place in the galaxy. News channels showed alien visitors walking down city streets. Schools started teaching alien languages, and everyone wanted to sign up for the new Earth space fleet. But it wasn't all easy. Some humans were scared of the aliens. Others worried about Earth's culture changing too fast. The Earth government had to work hard to keep everyone calm. They set up special programs to help humans and aliens understand each other better. Back in space, the changes were even bigger. The first joint human-alien crew took off in a Starero ship. Their mission: to explore the farthest reaches of the galaxy. Captain Maria Rodriguez, a brave human explorer, stood on the bridge. Next to her was Zix, a smart alien scientist with 4 arms and 3 eyes. "Ready for adventure, Zix?" Maria asked with a grin. Zix blinked all 3 eyes. "Ready as I'll ever be, Captain." With a flash of rainbow light, their ship disappeared into the cosmic shortcut. A new age of exploration had begun. But not all explorations were peaceful. In a far-off part of space, a Starero ship made a scary discovery. They found an ancient alien weapon, more powerful than anything they'd ever seen. The ship's captain, a tough human named Jack, knew this was trouble. "We can't let this fall into the wrong hands," he told his crew. Let's get it back to Earth. Little did they know, they were being watched. The Smugglers Guild had spies everywhere, and they wanted that weapon. As Jack's ship raced home, a secret message went out across the galaxy. The hunt was on. Back at the Galactic Council, things were getting tense. Some alien races were becoming very powerful, very quickly. They were using Earth's tech to build big fleets and take over their neighbors. Zork called an emergency meeting. "This is getting out of hand," he said, his tentacles twisting with worry. "We need to set some rules." Admiral Chen agreed. "You're right. With great power comes great responsibility." Together, they started working on a new galactic constitution. It would set laws for how to use the new technology and how to treat other races fairly. But writing new laws for the whole galaxy wasn't easy. Every alien race had their own ideas and wanted things their way. "This is harder than I thought," Chen said to Zork one day. "Maybe we bit off more than we can chew." Zork patted Chen's shoulder with a tentacle. "Don't worry, my friend. Together, we can figure it out." As they worked, news came in from all over the galaxy. New planets were being discovered. Old enemies were becoming friends, and strange, new forms of life were being found in the cosmic shortcuts. Everything was changing, and changing fast. It was exciting, but also a little scary. No one knew what would happen next. In a quiet moment, Shen looked out at the stars. The galaxy seemed bigger and more mysterious than ever before, but also full of hope. "Well," he said to himself, "we wanted to make a difference. Looks like we got our wish." The adventure was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning. Humanity had changed the galaxy, and now the galaxy was changing humanity. What would happen next? Only time would tell. Real danger shows up. Just when everyone thought things were settling down, real danger showed up. It started with a message from Captain Jack's ship, the one that found the ancient alien weapon. "Mayday! Mayday!" The message crackled through space. "We're under attack. The weapon is gone." At the Galactic Council, alarms went off. Zork's tentacles turned pale with fear. "This is bad," he said. "Very bad." Admiral Chen ran to the control room. "What's going on?" he asked. A young human officer named Sarah looked up from her screen. "Sir, it's the Smugglers Guild. They've stolen the weapon." Chen's face went dark. "Alert all ships. We need to find that weapon before it's too late." But it was already too late. In a distant part of space, Grok, the slimy leader of the Smugglers Guild, laughed as he looked at his prize. "With this," he gurgled, "we'll rule the galaxy." He didn't understand the weapon, but he knew it was powerful. And power was all he cared about. Back on Earth, people were starting to worry. The news was full of scary stories about the stolen weapon. Some humans wanted to close the borders and hide. But Admiral Chen had a different idea. He called a big meeting with all the alien races. "Listen up," he said. "This is a problem for all of us. We need to work together to stop the Smugglers Guild." Blorp, the green blob alien, bounced nervously. "But how? They could be anywhere." Xena, the tree-like alien, had an idea. "What if we use the cosmic shortcuts to search the whole galaxy at once?" Chen nodded. "Good thinking, Xena. We'll need every Starero ship we've got." And so, the great galactic search began. Ships from every alien race joined in. They zipped through cosmic shortcuts, looking for any sign of the weapon. Meanwhile, Grok and his gang were causing trouble. They used the weapon to scare small planets into giving them money and supplies. Soon, Grok told his crew, "We'll be strong enough to take on the big worlds." But Grok didn't know that the weapon was dangerous in other ways. Every time he used it, it sent out weird energy waves. These waves were messing up the cosmic shortcuts. On a Starero ship searching for Grok, Captain Maria and her alien friend, Zix, noticed something strange. "The shortcuts are getting unstable," Zix said, his 3 eyes wide with worry. If this keeps up, we could lose FTL travel forever. Maria frowned. We need to warn Admiral Chen. This is bigger than we thought. At the Galactic Council, Chen got the bad news. He turned to Zork. We're running out of time. Any ideas? Zork thought hard, his tentacles twisting into knots. Then he had an idea. What about that quantum resonance thing you used on the cosmic krakens? Chen's eyes lit up. Zork, you're a genius. If we can tune it to the weapon's frequency, we might be able to track it. They quickly shared the plan with all the search ships. Now they had a way to find Grok. But Grok wasn't going to give up easily. When he realized he was being hunted, he decided to make a big show of power. He took his ship to a busy space station where lots of aliens lived. Give me control, he demanded, or I'll use the weapon. The people on the station were scared. They called for help. Luckily, Captain Maria's ship was close by. We can't let him hurt those people, she told her crew. We're going in. What happened next was the biggest space battle anyone had ever seen. Maria's ship against Grok's, zipping through cosmic shortcuts, firing lasers, and dodging asteroids. Zix worked frantically at the controls. The weapon's energy is rising. He yelled. If it goes off, it could rip a hole in space. Maria gritted her teeth. Not if we can help it. Full power to shields. We're ramming them. Their ship slammed into Grok's. Both ships tumbled through a cosmic shortcut, energy sparking all around them. They came out in a strange, empty part of space. The weapon was overloading, bright light pouring from it. Abandoned ship. Maria yelled. Her crew and Grok's jumped into escape pods. Just in time. The ships exploded in a huge flash of light. The weapon's energy burst outward, but with nothing to hit, it just faded away. When Admiral Chen's rescue ships arrived, they found Maria, Zix, and even Grok floating in their escape pods. Nice work, Captain, Chen said as Maria came aboard. You just saved the galaxy. Maria smiled tiredly. All in a day's work, sir. But let's not do that again anytime soon. As they headed home, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. The danger was over for now. But they had learned an important lesson. With great power comes great danger. The galaxy was safe, but forever changed. Humans and aliens alike knew that they would need to be more careful with powerful tech in the future. As the ships flew home, Maria looked out at the stars. What a crazy adventure, she said to Zix. Zix nodded all three of his eyes. Something tells me it's not over yet. They were right. This was just the beginning of humanity's grand adventure in space. Who knew what exciting and dangerous things waited for them out there among the stars? New space age. A year had passed since the big battle with Grok and his stolen weapon. The galaxy had changed a lot, and things were finally starting to calm down. It was the beginning of a new space age, and everyone was excited to see what would happen next. On Earth, people were celebrating. It was the first anniversary of Earth joining the Galactic Council, and the streets were full of humans and aliens having fun together. Admiral Chen stood on a big stage in New York City. Next to him were Zork, Senna, Blorp, and other alien friends. They were all smiling, or doing whatever their species did to show happiness. Friends, Earthlings, galactic neighbors, Chen said into the microphone. What a year it's been. The crowd cheered. Humans waved flags, and aliens waved tentacles, branches, and other body parts. We've faced challenges, Chen continued, but we've also made amazing discoveries. Together, we've started a new chapter in galactic history. Zork floated forward, his tentacles waving excitedly. Thanks to Earth's cool trick, he gurgled, the galaxy is more connected than ever before. It was true. The cosmic shortcuts had changed everything. Planets that were once months apart could now visit each other for weekend trips. Trade was booming, and new friendships were forming between species that had never met before. But it wasn't all easy. Blorp bounced nervously. We still have problems, he said. Some people are using the new tech for bad things. Chen nodded. You're right, Blorp. That's why we've created the Galactic Peace Force. On cue, a group of ships zoomed overhead. They were the new GPF ships, built with technology from all the different alien races. Humans and aliens worked together on these ships, keeping the galaxy safe. Captain Maria Rodriguez, the hero from the battle with Grok, led the formation. She waved from the cockpit of her shiny new ship, and the crowd went wild. As the celebration continued, Chen and his alien friends slipped away for a quiet meeting. They had important things to discuss. In a room high above the city, they gathered around a table. Holograms flickered, showing images from across the galaxy. The cosmic shortcuts are stable again, Senna said, her leaves rustling with relief. The damage from the ancient weapon is fixed. And Grok? Asked Chen. Zork's tentacles twisted in amusement. Still in galactic jail. He's taken up knitting. Everyone laughed at the thought of the slimy smuggler making sweaters. But there were serious matters to discuss too. We're finding more ancient tech out there, said Blorp. Some of it's dangerous. Chen nodded. That's our next big challenge. We need to explore carefully, learn from the past without repeating its mistakes. They all agreed. The new space age was exciting, but it needed wise leaders to guide it. As they talked, a young human scientist burst into the room. Her name was Dr. Lisa Chen, no relation to the Admiral, and she looked very excited. Sorry to interrupt, she said, catching her breath, but you need to see this. She put a strange object on the table. It looked like a glowing cube with symbols all over it. We found this in the Andromeda Galaxy, Lisa explained. It's some kind of map, we think, but not to places, to other universes. The room went quiet. Other universes. This was big news. Admiral Chen looked at his alien friends. They all nodded. Looks like we've got a new adventure on our hands, he said with a smile. Back outside, the party was still going strong. Humans and aliens danced together under the stars. Kids played with toy spaceships, dreaming of their own cosmic adventures. In schools across Earth, students were learning about alien cultures and far-off planets. Young humans signed up for exchange programs, excited to study on alien worlds. And it wasn't just humans learning new things. Aliens were discovering human culture too. Blorp had become a big fan of human music, especially rock and roll. Zenna was writing a book about Earth's plants. Even Zork had picked up some human habits. He loved drinking coffee with all 8 of his tentacles. As the sun set on the celebration, Admiral Chen looked up at the stars. The galaxy didn't seem so big and scary anymore. It was full of friends, adventures, and new things to learn. What do you think the future holds? Zork asked, floating up beside him. Chen smiled. I don't know, my friend, but I'm sure it'll be amazing. We've got a whole universe to explore, maybe even more than one. As if to agree, a shooting star zipped across the sky. Chen and Zork watched it go, 2 friends from different worlds, united in their love of adventure and discovery. The new space age had begun. Humanity had found its place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as friends, explorers, and peacekeepers. There would be challenges ahead, for sure, but with their new allies and their human spirit, there was nothing they couldn't handle. The galaxy was waiting, full of wonders and mysteries, and humanity, along with their alien friends, was ready to dive in and see what they could find. As the celebration wound down, people headed home, some to houses, some to spaceships. They were tired but happy, excited for what tomorrow might bring. After all, in this new space age, every day was a chance for an amazing adventure.